It's the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
You are Locked On Bulls, your daily podcast on the Chicago Bulls, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Here are your hosts, Matt Peck and Big Dave Watson.
What's up, y'all, and welcome in to an emergency episode of the Locked On Bulls podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm Matt Peck. You can follow me on Twitter at Bulls_Peck. My guy Big Dave's at BAW Sports. And joining us for this, because he couldn't not be here for this, is the third wheel of our here tricycle. You know him and love him. His name is John Sabine. You can follow him on Twitter at JSabine214. Guys,
yeah.
The clock struck 5 in Chicago Central Time. Boom! There's the tweet from Shams Charania. Lonzo Ball and the Bulls, 4 years, $85 million. We'll get to the other details of the trade. But Big Dave, my guy, let's start with you. Did you know this was coming, and how happy are you about it?
Yeah, I knew it was coming. Yeah, I said 1,000 times this was going to happen. We all felt that this was going to happen. How could you not see this was coming? Every single thing AK and Eversley has set out to do, they have done it. All of it. Everything they said they wanted to do, they did it. Every single time. Dude, do you not remember when Jim Boylan got fired? When did that happen? The first minute that they could do it, they fired him and got him out of here. When they said, well, who's going to be your next coach? We don't know. It can't be Billy Donovan. The second Billy Donovan said, I'm leaving, they went to his house. The second that he said it, they went to his house. The second they could trade Wendell and get him out of here and go get Vooch, guess what? They did it. Everything they said they wanted to do, they have done. And they continue to keep saying, we're not finished. We got more on the way. And now Lonzo, they tried to get him last year. They wanted too much, the Pelicans. And then they go get Lonzo, 4 years, $85 million, a little bit over what we were going to pay. But everybody said, well, at least I said, well, if you got to pay him a little bit over that, I'm sure that's what it's going to be. But it can't be something astronomical. Just $5 million over? That's nothing. Yes, that's great. Pay him that. Give him that money. That is completely fine. I love this. You needed a point guard. You were starving for a point guard. You were starving for a name. You were starving for a face. He was only going to 3 places: Chicago, New York, LA. That's it. That's all he was going to go to, man. He wasn't looking at nobody else. He wanted to be in Chicago. How do I know that? Because he signed in the first freaking minute. This has been in the works for a while, and now it's done. John Sabine, I am overjoyed, my friend.
For the record, to be the Nev Campbell to your Denise Richards and Matt Dillon makes me feel so lucky to even be asked to be on this pod at this momentous occasion. Matt, I will be quick so we hear your thoughts. First minute, the premier point guard besides Kyle Lowry, but also 35. Not good for us. Not the premier point guard for where we are right now. Mm-hmm. They got him. That was the first one. Besides Kelly Olynyk, everyone else is re-signing with their original teams. Leaving for Sato, thanks, future endeavors. Garrett Temple never quite worked in a second round pick. We still keep Lowry, who's going to be a major sign and trade chip that will happen tonight. Like, to get something else. I think this is if you don't like this move, what do you want? How can you not love this? This is why you watch the game. We got a free agent.
Yes, the name too. The name that was out there.
The first Shams bomb was that.
The first one. When have you ever been able to say that over the past few years about the Bulls?
We're going to score 130 in defenses for losers. Who cares?
John, you hit it on the head right there, man, because, look, we could talk about how the fact that Lonzo actually is a pretty good fit alongside Zach LaVine because he gives you length. He gives you perimeter defense this team sorely needs, and he's a viable three-point shooting threat now. Kudos to him for bringing those three-point percentages up. And we also know that he's a solid passer and playmaker in addition to all those things. But what you just said about the Bulls actually got a free agent to leave where he was and come here. And yeah, Lonzo's not a big name star in the league, but he is a name in the league. And even that is something for this franchise that for years was languishing in the fact that we're a big market, we're a historic franchise, and yeah, Chicago winters are cold, blah, 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 blah. Players should want to play here, but they haven't in years and years and years. And sometimes we've wondered why. Sometimes we thought that we know why. Wink, wink. The fact that Lonzo said, yeah, Bulls, you guys want me? I want to be there. Let's go. That to me is the biggest thing about all of this. Yes. Because when we were wondering, hey, maybe Zach LaVine will make some friends on the Olympic team and do some recruiting, but oh dear God, maybe he'll get recruited away. This should speak things to certain players around the league to say, hey, maybe going to Chicago isn't as awful as we all mutually agreed it was, because we heard all the horror stories from our colleagues and our friends and fellow players in the league who left there and said, man, you wouldn't believe the shit going on in Chicago. This could be the beginning of the end of that. And that's what makes me the most happy right now.
And Matt, you just brought up something right there about like, who do you think is the talk of Team USA right now over there, right now? Who you think all the players are talking to right now? It is Zach LaVine. Dude, y'all got Lonzo Ball. What do you think? You're the first bomb. You're the first Shams bomb. You're the first Woj bomb, like John said. You're the first one. Everybody wants to talk to you right now. They want to speak to you just because you were the first. And it's the biggest name. Like I said it earlier on the show today, John. It's the biggest, most logical name out there outside of, Damian Lillard, and Kyle Lowry, who, logically weren't going to be in the mix for the Chicago Bulls or anybody except one or two teams. But the most logical, biggest name out there was Lonzo Ball. He was the one everybody wanted and had a real legitimate shot at getting. But guess what? He wanted to go one place. And why do I know that? Because he signed in the first minute. The first freaking minute. It's the talk of Team USA. And when's the last time the Bulls been the talk of the NBA? When? When in a good way, I'm saying. Like, not in the way of what the hell are these guys doing over there.
The last
last dance.
It's true.
Yes, it's true. It's true, man.
It is truly unbelievable. And they didn't get a haul for him. It wasn't like it was like Zion's like, great. I'm gonna have to get lobs from Satoransky. Like, if you're Zion Williamson, you're like, what is happening? Like,
don't y'all like me?
Right.
Dude, we got him for some loose squares and some ketchup. Like we got him up out of here.
This is unbelievable. It really is, because he's better than Conley. It's the timeline works out, and it is the need. It's the best player at the biggest need.
Yes,
truly. And I think the thing about the fact that okay, Sato, thanks for the couple of years, buddy. You never were really anything special. Zach LaVine and USA just wiped their ass with you in that USA Czech game. That was fun to watch. And Garrett Temple, a very well-respected veteran, and I honestly will miss Garrett Temple's presence on this team. The one year he was here, that dude carried a lot of weight.
Led the league in 4-point plays.
Those two guys, those two guys in the second-round pick, second-round pick somewhere down the road. I'm still excited about our second-round pick that we just took, Ayo Dosunmu.
Yes.
I'm like, that's the second-round pick I'm thinking about right now. And as you said, John, Lowry's still here, which, by the way, this could be the last time I ever wear my Lowry Marketing City Edition jersey, because he might not be a Bull after tonight. And I'm okay with that. I've made my peace with it already. What do you guys make of this other report from Brian Windhorst when he was talking on ESPN earlier this afternoon that, by the way, this just came across. It's official from Shams. Kyle Lowry signing with the Miami Heat. Did I say so, or did I say so?
Applause once again to Matt Peck, ladies and gentlemen.
Wait, everyone said that.
But no, let Matt have it.
Long time ago.
Let Matt have it.
Like,
called it
weeks ago.
He's
when
Jimmy
everybody
Butler's
was like,
godfather or something.
It was like, the Sixers are gonna get Kyle Lowry, or he's gonna go play in LA with LeBron and AD, or he's gonna go. No. Everybody was talking about a lot of teams, and not everybody said, "Oh yeah, Miami." And I sat here and said, "Pat Riley's lurking, and Pat Riley will get Kyle Lowry. Just you wait." However, good for Kyle Lowry, good for Jimmy Butler.
He's
good for
35.
The Heat,
good luck.
Whatever. Yeah, that's a lot of money to pay a dude that old.
That's recency bias.
Going back to this other report from Brian Windhorst, who said the Bulls were going after DeMar DeRozan. We talked, Big Dave, on podcast earlier this summer that the Spurs are interested in Lauri Markkanen. There's mutual interest there, and all of a sudden, maybe the Bulls front office is not going to make one swing, but two big swings tonight. I don't know how exactly DeRozan fits in. I'm worried about his defensive side of the ball, but I mean, Big Dave, would all context included, would you be ecstatic? Would you be worried? How would you feel if AK is not done and he's on the phone with the Spurs right now trying to get DeMar DeRozan for Lauri Markkanen?
So you asked me how would I feel if I got DeMar DeRozan for Lauri Markkanen? That's the question you asked. How would I feel?
Yeah,
What?
well, and then you got to pay DeMar DeRozan $1 zillion, and there are certain flaws to DeMar's game that are warranted.
Everybody has them. The guys who don't have flaws to the game are the guys who are on their own teams and they're not leaving. Of course, he's got flaws, but he's averaging 20 points, about 6 assists, about 5 rebounds, and he'll score 50% from the field. And you need another shooter. You need another option out there. He's not going to be your first option or even your second option. DeMar DeRozan as a third option on your team, you're a good basketball team, period. You need guys who can create their own shot. Who's creating their own shot on this team? It's Zach LaVine and it's Kobe White. And there you go. Like, you need other shot creators for this team. The other thing you need veterans on your team. It'd be nice to have that, won't it? You got a nice veteran on your squad in DeMar DeRozan who can play the 2 or the 3, and a guy who can come off the bench, and you ain't got to worry about it no more. Like, man, we were having a tough time scoring it with our starting 5, which we had some power off the bench. Guess what? I got a dude that was all NBA in 2018 on my bench, just chilling. That can come drop buckets. And when he's second unit, who else you passing to on the second unit? He can run that. He can have it. It's all his. He can do it how he wants to. Yes, you take DeMar DeRozan. Yes, Matt. Yes. Overjoyed that you would get him for Lauri Markkanen, because it didn't even cross my mind that would happen. Yes, you give me that. Yes.
John?
Absolutely. It's talent. And again, you always take talent. Always.
Yeah.
You always take it. If they want to come with you, because you can also turn that talent into different talent. But you can't turn non-talent into different talent unless you have Garrett Temple, second-round pick, and Sadaransky. Duncan Robinson, 5 years, $90 million. Just came out. Get paid. Get Duncan Robinson $90 million.
Shout out Duncan Robinson's agent. That's
90.
Amazing.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Tim Hardaway, and they're like the same age.
That's amazing, dog. But you like DeRozan too, right, John?
I
like,
love
DeRozan.
Right? I love DeRozan fits. It's so funny. DeRozan fits for every team, but like Milwaukee and the Lakers, because he doesn't shoot threes. But everywhere else, we could use a shot creator, right? Like shot creators now, I feel like don't exist as well as like, you know how ISO ball was like the early 2000s. Everyone could do that, but nothing else. We're missing those guys.
Yes.
We're missing those ISO. Those ISO ball guys that were terrible at everything else. So I would take, oh my God, if you get DeMar DeRozan the Bulls.
Like, you're telling me a DeMar DeRozan upgrading over a Sadaransky, a Garrett Temple, and a Lauri Markkanen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying those are your 3 who are shipping out. And you're bringing in Lonzo Ball and you're bringing in DeMar DeRozan. Like, that's what I can get in here. That's an upgrade, ladies and gentlemen. That's an upgrade. You're better. Isn't that what we were trying to do? Was get better and be more of a destination for NBA players and NBA talent? Isn't that what they were trying to do? Well, this is how you do it.
Yeah. And look, good offense beats good defense pretty much 9 times out of 10 in the NBA these days. The one thing that I'm a little hung up on with DeRozan for a guy who commands that kind of salary, and again, hey, not my money. If Jerry and Michael are willing to pay it, yay, let's go for it. But as far as X's and O's and scheme-wise, it worries me a little bit. If they do make this move and you talk about a starting lineup of Lonzo, Zach, DeRozan at the 3, shifting Pete up to the 4 after playing a lot at the wing his rookie year, and Vooch at the 5. DeRozan's not a three-point threat, but that's okay because Lonzo, hopefully, knock on wood, keeps up. Zach, P-Dub, at least from the corners, and Vooch are all shooting threats. You
All
got
of them.
4 shooters on the floor in your starting 5. Defense is what worries me. Lonzo, we finally brought in a plus defender in the backcourt who actually can also do things on offense.
Mhm.
Hey, what Chris Dunn? Who's paying him? I don't know. What's going on? Don't care.
You got
But
traded to Boston.
Celtics.
Levine, to his credit, and we do give him credit where it's due, still not a net plus defender. Vooch, not a net plus defender. So then you're asking if you throw DeRozan in there for Lonzo and P-Dub to do a lot of work on the defensive end every night. And that just worries me. I feel like people don't talk as much as they should about how DeMar DeRozan, because people look at him as like kind of a two-way guy, but I don't really know why they do. His defense is terrible. DeRozan's defense
I think it's bad. I don't think it's terrible. I don't think it's terrible. I think it's as good as Zach's.
Mhm.
Like, which is probably not great, but like, if you have, we're really relying on Patrick Williams to really become the Swiss Army knife defender, right? Because if we get DeRozan, then we're small. Vooch is your center. P-Will's a 4.
Yeah.
And then Zach and DeMar DeRozan wings, and it's like, we're really relying on this rook to be like, okay, guard Giannis, and then guard LeBron, and then guard,
But we asked him to do that already, right?
I know.
Then we asked him, and he was solid at it already. Yep. When we asked him to do it, those guys who he guarded came back and was like, "Hey, this guy right here is pretty good." So in year 2, yeah, do it again. I want to see you do it one more time. Absolutely, you're asking a lot of him because he's shown you the ability to actually do it. So if he didn't show that ability, then I would be concerned. You know what I mean? I'd be like, "Oh man, they putting all that on him." No, he's shown the ability to properly handle it. So that's why I'm like, okay, yeah, go do it again. Let's rely on him. Let's lean on him a little bit more. I'm cool with that. DeRozan, now, and here's the thing. I don't know if DeRozan is going to be the starter. If they do get DeRozan, I don't know if he's going to be the starter. I don't know. I'm just saying, Matt, because I'm thinking of the untradeable Thad. Like, he's the first one I'm thinking of, is the untradeable.
Don't you dare. I was shocked. I was honestly shocked that he wasn't included in the Ball deal, which makes me think that he's going to be in another deal.
Could be because the Bulls fully guaranteed his deal along Sato's. So maybe there's something there. Meanwhile, here's something interesting, guys. As we're talking about the Bulls and maybe going after DeRozan with the Spurs just signed our old pal Dougie McBuckets to a 3-year, $42 million deal. So there's some money that the Spurs are spending on something.
Chris Paul back to the Suns, 4-year, $120 million.
Wow.
He will be 40.
Oh my God.
4-year deal? I thought it was going to at least be 3. He got a 4-year deal?
That's what they're saying. It says has agreed to stay on. It says it could be worth as much as 120 million.
Okay. So you're talking about averaging out 30 mil annually over a 4-year deal for your 36 to aged 40 seasons?
Who crapped out in the finals.
Oh, man.
Like
who's your second best player? Who's your second best player?
Is that like what kind of money did Tom Brady get from the Bucks? Did he get that much money to play as a 42-year? That's crazy, man. Oh, dude, my God.
How does the Heat pay Bam the max, Butler a max, Lowry this much money, and then Duncan Robinson for 90? Like how does money work in Miami? Like
luxury tax?
Meanwhile, like other teams are like, we can't do anything because we how do they pay? Like seriously, like they decide everyone.
It's true. It's true.
And Mickey Erickson runs cruise ships, and there was COVID. How does he have this money?
I mean, I think nobody counts money in Miami. It just like it's made up. It's not a thing.
Yeah, exactly. Vibes is their currency.
Man,
everybody's paid in Bitcoin. The staff is paid in Bitcoin.
God, that is unbelievable. 120 million.
That's a lot.
I don't know what's crazier, that or 5 and 90 for Duncan Robinson.
Duncan Robinson.
You know, Duncan Robinson's 27.
Wait, that's it?
But he's only been in the league like 3 years.
Yeah,
that's true. He had a long haul. I mean, shout out to him for getting that money. But damn, That is a lot of money for Duncan Robinson, who's a 3-point shooter, and there you go.
Shout out to Campaign from going from cut to overseas to D-League to
shout out to him for that, for sure.
John, I just saw this Cowley tweet that you sent us in the chat.
What a monster.
He is Joe Cowley. Look, I like Joe Cowley. He's a good dude. He works hard at his job, and I think he's very good at what he does. But you knew as soon as he started tweeting this morning, he was on the warpath. He was like, let's all watch the Bulls explode because Zach LaVine isn't worth a max deal. Lowry/Butler greater than sign, LaVine/Ball, but still a great start to free agency for Arturas. Oh my goodness! I mean,
he knows who he is,
and also
that's why I like Joe Cowley. He knows exactly the role that he is supposed to play. He knows it.
He's Bobby the Brain Heenan. Like,
yes, John. Yes,
he makes way more sense as a wrestling heel than like a journalist, and that's a compliment. Like,
that's a dude
because he's very good at this. Like,
that is so real.
Like
that is. That is so true.
But I don't know if it's that true for the money.
Yeah.
Like if you look up if you include contracts and age, I don't know if that's right. Lowry and Ball.
If him being better, them being better, the age is important, and I think that's what's lost in that. It's definitely the age, because right now, I don't know, man. That's why Lonzo Ball was considered the top guy. You know what I mean? There's a reason he was, and his age has a lot to do with that.
Mm-hmm.
But he was considered the top prospect as far as point guards that were attainable in the free agent market. It was Lonzo Ball's name at the top. That's how it went. And the Bulls went out and got him in the first minute. So I'm happy. I'm so ecstatic.
Goran Dragic going to get bought out.
Guys, while we're here, shout out to everybody hanging out with us on YouTube right now. We got almost 150 people hanging out with us on YouTube. Derek Sutton said, this scratches Kobe as a potential starter. How will he feel after his effort last year? Interesting factor to throw in here, guys. Kobe White rehabbing a shoulder injury right now after surgery. Gonna miss all of training camp. Probably gonna miss the first month or so of the regular season. We'll see how quickly or slowly that heals and what the timeline is that we get an update on whenever that update comes. How do we think Kobe fits into this picture now that we got Lonzo Ball as our presumed starting point guard?
Well, I said it to you guys during the season when we were doing the Bulls games that I had no problem with Kobe starting, but if we get a better point guard, he goes to the bench. And the point guard I kept mentioning was Lonzo Ball. I was like, we get Lonzo Ball, Kobe goes to the bench. I have no problem with that. That is still the point right here. Kobe is perfect in this right here. This is a great scenario for him to come off the bench and truly dominate and go in on these second-tier defenses and offenses, man. Now he could just be Kobe White out there. Because Matt had issue with him, in his facilitating, when he would be in there in the game as a starter. That kind of goes away now. Like I'm a little not concerned with it as much with him coming off the bench. Kobe, get the ball and go put it in the hoop. Kobe, get the ball and, hit the dude that's wide open in the corner for three. Like, it simplifies it for Kobe White, and it makes it a little bit easier for him. So, I have no problem with this. And, again, being around a point guard like Lonzo Ball will help his game. Being around a player like Vooch will help his game. All of that is going to help Kobe White get better. So, great for him to be coming off the bench. What a great punch to have and a great addition to have. And a great luxury to have in Kobe White coming off your bench, man. Especially if your team isn't scoring and you guys are having to struggle scoring. If Lonzo is struggling, you know what I'm saying, in that first quarter or whatever, get Kobe in there, man. Get the substitution going and changes the game. Yes, I'm with it. I was with it during the season. I'm still with it.
John, I know you're on a time crunch here, so give us your thoughts on Kobe real quick.
I think it's great. He's not a starter, but also who's so many great teams need great players on the bench. And we only started him because we didn't have a starter.
Correct.
It wasn't because he earned it. It was one of those things where it was like, I guess you're better than the other guy. And I think it's great because he was great as just going against second units and getting hot and punishing. And I think it'll help him, at least, especially after a shoulder surgery. And I also do think AK has shown that no one's untouchable. And what team couldn't use a spark plug young player off the bench who was in a bad situation, who might, he is an asset that people want. And that's a good thing. So I love it. I love having him off the bench. I feel very confident. having him off the bench.
That's a good
So
word for it.
as we're talking here about the Bulls potentially not being done because Lowry Markkanen, restricted free agent, still here. There are several teams interested. Not only San Antonio, Minnesota is reportedly interested in Lowry's services as well. Would you like to see Kobe stay? Because some people in our YouTube chat are asking us, do you want to keep Kobe as the sixth man, or would you want to use Kobe in a trade if it can net you potentially a third/fourth star to play with Lonzo, Levine, and Vooch? Would you be willing to give up Kobe in the right trade tonight or tomorrow?
Yeah. You said it right there, man. In the right trade for a star to go along. Yeah. This is what John says it all the time. It's a star league. Like this is what it is. You get stars. So if you have an opportunity to do that, that's what you do. You go get your star. As much as I like Kobe, if you're telling me I can get a star and an upgrade over him, yeah. Because again, I'm putting him on the bench for Lonzo Ball. So if you're getting me somebody better than that too, yeah, I'm making that trade. We talked about it with Ben Simmons. We talked about guys like that. Yeah, you make those kind of trades if you're going to move Kobe White. But it can't be for somebody lower tiered. That's all I'm saying. Because I think Kobe's good enough to where he has to be respected, where I'm not trading you, for Tomas Satoransky or Ricky Rubio or somebody. Like, I'm not trading you for that. I have to get a guy that actually can come in and be a star, like you said, your second or third option on the squad. So, yeah, Kobe's worth that. He's worth that. Absolutely.
I'm not ready to give up Lowry and Kobe. I need one of them to stay.
You need one? Okay.
I just need one of them. I believe in them still. I believe in both of them still. Like,
it's not a belief for me. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
I know, I understand, but I just want to see them when they were playing well for the Bulls. It was a good feeling, those glimpses. And I know it was a tease, but I want one of them. I want to see one of them, take the step.
Yeah. Yeah.
You hope so. We're also all hoping and waiting that Patrick Williams takes a big step next year too. All right, that's it for now. We just wanted to hop on and do a quick reaction to the first big breaking news, not just of the Bulls free agency, but of NBA free agency, which is that the Bulls are the new team for one Lonzo Ball. LeVar, I'm not even thinking about you right now.
LeVar Ball is coming to Chicago.
Chicago is a big Butler brand city. Rename the bean the big baller bean. The big baller bean, man.
So excited. My God.
I'm so freaking excited.
If there's a baller brand B on the bean tomorrow morning, I don't know how I'd feel about that.
Someone Photoshop it to big baller bean, please. Please,
big baller bean. Yes, someone Photoshop, hashtag it, big baller bean. Let's get that going on, man. And LeVar Ball, yes, we want you on this show. Please come on, Lock the Bulls.
He's going to sing the seventh inning stretch. Oh, my God. It's going to be amazing.
Yes.
And he's going to make up the words. He won't know them all.
Yes.
It's going to be great.
Yes. Root for LeVar Ball.
Big Baller Bean is why John just writes tweets for corporate accounts. That right there.
Yeah.
That's
Big Baller
the
Bean,
skill.
guys.
If anything else breaks tonight, if the Bulls trade Lowry somewhere, if we end up with DeJounte Murray, DeMar DeRozan, we'll hop back on. We'll do another emergency pod. Thank y'all for hanging out with us on YouTube. Let's hope we're back again before the night is up, because this is a lot of fun, and it's fun to be a Bulls fan right now because it's the first hour free agency and they're doing stuff. John, thank you for joining us, my friend. Always
this was
good
such
to see
a
you.
Treat. When you say, can you jump on it? Yes, the answer is categorically yes. So this was a joy. I hope we can. We'll talk in the group chat. It'll be great.
We'll talk.
Yeah.
Don't worry. We'll talk. Bulls fans, talk amongst yourselves. Let's keep an eye out for those Twitter alerts to see if anything else happens. In the meantime, follow us. I'm at Bulls_Peck. Big Days of Bal, BAWL Sports. John J Sabine 214. We are at Locked On Bulls, and hit up that text to voicemail line so we can do a bunch of fun mailbag later out throughout the week as we react to free agency. Hit us up 331-979-1369 about Lonzo Ball and anything else. For Big Dave and John, I'm Matt. We'll talk to you probably soon. See Red, be good. Peace out.